everyone, this is me again, your teacher Russell, and welcome back to my channel. In this lesson, we're going to continue the lesson about perfect tenses. If you can remember, we already talked about present perfect tense last time, and for this lesson, we're going to be talking about past perfect tense. What are we waiting for? Let's get straight to the lesson right away. When we talk about past perfect tense, it is actually talking about the sequence of the events, which means that something has happened in the past of the other past. We also use past perfect tense if we want to show what happened first before another past event happened. If you can remember, in present perfect tense, we use this formula subject plus have plus the past participle. In past perfect tense, we use had instead of have. So the structure becomes subject plus had plus past participle. Okay, let's take a look at an example. By the time teacher Russell came to the classroom, the students had changed their costume and prepared their presentation. So, like I said a while ago, this past perfect tense shows the sequence of the event. It tells you what happened first before another thing happened in the past. So again, that's why it's called past of the past. So in this example, before teacher Russell came to the classroom, something else already happened before that certain time. And what happened before teacher Russell came? The students had changed their costume and prepared their presentation. So how many things happened? 3, right? The first thing is the students changed their costume. The second thing is they prepared the presentation, and teacher Russell came to the classroom. So there are 3 things, and that's why I said a while ago, it tells you the sequence of the event. So in past perfect tense, we are being more specific of the time when the action took place or happened. I hope you get that. Another example, let's talk about my son Timothy. Timothy had finished eating his ice cream before I came. Had finished. Had finished. Subject, Timothy, had, plus the past participle, finished. Now again, like I mentioned in the previous video, you have to make sure that you can memorize the irregular verbs because other verbs have different past participle. That's why it's important to memorize these irregular verbs. What am I talking about? For example, the verb go. The present tense is go, the past tense is went, and the past participle is gone. So it doesn't follow the standard rule. That's why you have to take note of these words and memorize them so you know how to use them in the proper context. Another thing to remember about past perfect tense is that even though your subject is plural, this helping verb had in the middle does not change at all. Let's use 2 of my favorite Korean actors in the examples below. Before Gongyu and Park Seo-joon arrived, my friends and I had waited for 2 hours at the entrance. Had waited. So what is our subject here? My friends and I. But we didn't say have waited, but we said had waited. My friends and I had waited at the entrance for 2 hours. See? Even the subject is plural, still you have to follow the formula, which is had before putting the past participle at the end. Take note that past perfect tense can also be used in negative sentences. So what do? It's very, very simple. The standard formula is subject plus had plus past participle. When you form the negative sentence, you only need to add the word not after the word had. So here's an example. The driver had not seen the motorcycle when the accident happened. Had not seen. Okay? So subject, the driver, had not, that becomes negative. Seen is the past participle of see. See, saw, seen. Seen is the past participle. We can also make use of the contraction. So for example, instead of saying had not, we make it shorter by writing hadn't. So if we use contraction, the sentence becomes like this. The driver hadn't. So HADN apostrophe T. Instead of saying had not, we can just say hadn't. So again, the driver hadn't seen the motorcycle when the accident happened. Another example, the delivery man hadn't delivered my parcel before the Halloween. Hadn't or had not. The delivery man had not delivered my parcel before the Halloween. Had not or hadn't. Negative sentence. Finally, we can also use past perfect tenses when asking questions. And what is the formula? What is the standard structure when we use it to ask a question? The formula is we have to use had at the beginning of the sentence plus the subject and the past participle at the end. So here's an example. Had Maria met Joseph's parents before they got married? Okay, so had plus subject plus the past participle met. I told you a while ago this had doesn't change even if the subject is plural. So we can also do it in the same way when we're asking questions. For example, had they eaten lunch before the meeting started? Had, and then they. So see, they is plural in form, but had is still the same. It does not change. So had they eaten? That's the structure. Actually, I'm saying the T sounds strongly, but in standard American pronunciation, the T sound is not emphasized. So eaten, like that. You have to sound the flap T in the middle. It means when we say flap T, you don't actually say the sound very strongly. Instead of saying the T sound, we say it like the D sound. So eaten, 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 like that. Another pronunciation tip for you. I guess you can now identify the difference between past perfect tense and present perfect tense. Well, that's it for our lesson today. If you're new to my channel, go ahead and click the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you'll always be updated with my new uploads. I hope that you really learned from my lesson again today. Well, thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.